Have you ever noticed that your stomach seems to know something is wrong before your mind does? Before the email, before the argument, before the deadline you've been trying not to think about. Suddenly, your gut tightens, you feel bloated, crampy, nauseated, or running to the bathroom again. And you might wonder, is this food? Is something wrong with me? Why does this keep happening? But what if I told you that for many people with IBS, stress is not just a trigger, it's the translator. Today, we're going to be talking about how stress directly triggers IBS flares, what's actually happening inside your body when it does, and most importantly, simple, practical ways to calm the gut by calming the nervous system down. Because IBS is not all in your head, but it does listen closely to your stress. IBS is a gut-brain conversation. Irritable bowel syndrome is best understood not as a broken gut, but as a miscommunication system. Your gut and your brain are in constant conversation. In fact, your digestive tract contains over 100 million neurons, sometimes called the second brain. It produces neurotransmitters like serotonin, dopamine, and GABA, the same chemicals involved in mood and anxiety. So when stress enters the picture, it doesn't politely knock, it interrupts the conversation entirely. When you're stressed, your body activates the fight or flight response. This is a survival mechanism designed for short-term danger. The problem is, your gut doesn't distinguish between that. So a lion could be chasing you, you might have a work deadline, some emotional conflict might be happening, or you just suffer from chronic worry. To your nervous system, stress is just stress. And digestion is not a priority when survival mode is turned on. So what does stress actually do to the gut? Let's break this down into simple terms. When stress is activated, blood flow is redirected. Blood moves away from digestion and towards muscles and the brain. The result is slower digestion, cramping, constipation for some, diarrhea for others. The gut motility becomes erratic. Stress can cause the intestines to contract too fast, which can cause diarrhea, contract too slowly, causing constipation, or spasm unpredictably, causing pain and bloating. There is also gut sensitivity that increases. People with IBS often have visceral hypersensitivity. That means normal sensations like gas, stretching, digestion, these all feel painful. Stress turns up the volume on those sensations. What might be a mild discomfort for someone else becomes intense for you. The gut microbiome shifts. Chronic stress can alter gut bacteria balance. This can worsen if there's inflammation, gas production, food intolerance symptoms. So stress isn't imaginary. It's biochemical, it's neurological, it's hormonal. It is very real. One of the most frustrating things about IBS is inconsistency. You eat the same meal, one day you're fine, another day you have a flare. Why is that? Because stress lowers your threshold. Think of your gut like a cup. On a calm day, the cup is empty. You can add food, activity, life, no problem. On a stressful day, the cup is already half full. It doesn't take much to overflow. So it's not always the food, it's the context the food is eaten in. Rushed, anxious, distracted, tense, your gut notices. So here's where people get stuck. Stress causes IBS symptoms. IBS symptoms cause stress. Stress worsens symptoms. This creates a self-reinforcing loop. You start anticipating flares, you worry about bathrooms, you avoid activities, your nervous system stays on high alert. The gut doesn't get a chance to reset. Breaking this loop requires one key shift. Managing IBS is often less about controlling food and more about regulating your nervous system. So let's talk about what actually helps, realistically. Not perfection, not eliminating stress entirely, but lowering the baseline. First, we must activate your parasympathetic nervous system. This is the rest and digest state of the brain. One of the fastest ways to access this is through breathing. I want you to try this. Inhale through your nose for 4 seconds. Exhale slowly through your mouth for 6 seconds. Repeat this for 2 to 5 minutes. Longer inhales signal safety to the gut. This is especially helpful before meals, during early flare symptoms, and before sleep. You also want to make sure you're eating in a calm state. This matters more than you think. Even the best diet can backfire if eaten under stress. Before meals, sit down, unclench your jaw, take 3 slow breaths. Avoid eating while rushing, eating while angry or anxious, eating while doom scrolling. You're telling your gut whether it's safe to digest. Gentle, consistent movement is key. High-intensity workouts can worsen flares during stress, so instead, go for a walk, stretch, do yoga, perform light strength training. Movement helps regulate gut motility without triggering fight or flight. Next, train your mind not to catastrophize symptoms. IBS flares feel alarming, but panic makes them worse. When symptoms start, try this internal script. This isn't comfortable, but not dangerous. My body is reacting to stress. I can help calm it down. This reduces nervous system escalation. Your gut listens to reassurance. Improving sleep consistency is key. Poor sleep increases stress hormones, gut sensitivity, and pain perception. So you want to aim for consistent sleep and wake times. You want to have a wind down routine, and you want to reduce screens before bed, preferably an hour. Even small improvements matter. So when to seek extra support if what you've already done isn't quite helping? If stress feels overwhelming, support is not weakness. Cognitive behavioral therapy, gut-directed hypnotherapy, and mindfulness-based therapies have strong evidence for IBS because they target the gut-brain axis directly. Sometimes calming the gut means calming the mind with help. So in closing, IBS is not your body betraying you. It is your body communicating loudly. Stress makes it shout. Calm teaches it to whisper. You don't need to eliminate stress. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to control everything. You need to teach your nervous system that it is safe again. When the body feels safe, the gut will follow. And that's where the real relief begins. I want to thank you so much for watching today. Please remember that everything shared in this video is for educational and informational purposes only. I am not a doctor, and this is not medical advice. Everyone's experience with IBS is unique, so what works for one person may not work for another. Always consult with your healthcare provider or a qualified medical professional for personalized diagnosis, treatment, or advice regarding your symptoms and health. If you're looking for more support, I've linked some trusted resources in the description below, including organizations like the International Foundation for Gastrointestinal Disorders, the IBS Patient Support Group, and evidence-based guidelines from reputable medical sources. If this video helped you even a little, please give it a thumbs up, share it with someone who might benefit, and consider subscribing for more content on living well with IBS. Take good care of yourself. You're not alone in this, and brighter days are possible. I'll see you in the next video.